Hi guys, Mark Foreman again, coming to you from my wood shop in my backyard in Orange, Texas. Today, I'm going to spend this entire episode focusing on the support pieces for the bottom shelf. Seems like we're spending a lot of time on this bottom shelf, right? But I think it's going to be really cool. Flying solo on this episode because Splinters is currently on the computer doing some web-based training. He might join us later if he gets it finished and he passes. But for now, we'll go ahead and delve into everything I did. The support pieces were really kind of an experiment for me, a training session, if you will. I'm working on what's called a half lap. That's where two pieces of wood are joined together, but you cut off half of one and half of the other for a better connection, which makes for a stronger glue up. So bear with me as I learn as we go through this. I'll talk to you on the other end. Here we go. We're going to have the bottom shelf sit flush with the front edge, but its overall thickness on the edges of it are going to be 1 inch. So I need to put the supporting braces 1 inch below the front edge top. I then extended that 1 inch below all the way around the armoire. After a whole lot of ripping, cross-cutting, planing, jointing, and fitting, here are the 4 pieces that are going to make up the support for the bottom shelf. You won't see these pieces. They're going to be sitting underneath the piece that I'm about to make, but it's going to give it a much better support than anything they had previously. So let me lay this out, and then I'll show you what we're going to do next. I've labeled them. So I've got my front piece, my rear piece, right side and left side. Oh, now let me bring you closer. We'll go from there. I've kind of got you zoomed in on the right side here. So I have cut this right side the whole length of the inside of the armoire. I've cut the front and rear the whole length or the whole width of the armoire. So there's some overlap here. Now I could, for example, cut off the right side where it would fit inside like that. But by doing that, I get a end grain to edge grain glue up joint, and that's not near as strong as grain to grain glue ups. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to delve into the world of half laps. Need to make sure this is nice and 90 like that. I'll use a little razor blade to mark it. And I'm using a razor blade instead of a pencil because I really need an accurate line right up against it. That. Now I'll flip it around. And I have to do this to all 4 sides. I'm just showing you one side. And getting it nice and true. And I'm going way overkill on just support pieces, but this is also kind of a practice for me. There. And I mark this piece. Like that. I don't know if you can see it, but there's my razor line. Okay, let me get the other 4 done, and I'll meet you over at the miter saw. I have adjusted the plunge depth stop on the miter saw. I can pull this out here, we can see it a little better right there. So that when you plunge, it hits that screw hits that ledge, so you can't go down any further. Because my goal is to cut exactly 1/2 of the way through my 1-inch support pieces. So I'm going to use this laser, and while lasers are really cool and everything, I'm actually going to cut away from my razor line and then creep up to it so I know that I'm exactly right. So let's make the first pass. Let me turn on the vacuum. Move it a little bit. I don't know if you can see that. Still got a little bit to go. All right, on it. So now I have to take the rest of this off all the way to the end. First half of the half flap. There you have it. I actually cut a little too deep on this piece. It should be like that. But again, I'm kind of practicing on these lower supports, so it won't show anyway. Let me do the rest. So there we are. Check for square. Now I just want as close to square as possible on this. But more importantly, I probably want it to just be whatever the armoire is, because it may not be perfectly square, but again, this part's not going to show. So we get these all up nice and firm, and then the square thing, which will be the bottom shelf, will fit nicely, and any kind of variance will be hidden. Let's glue these in to the armoire. So what'd you think? Here is the bottom shelf. Put it in place, but it's not finished. It's not finished by a long shot. I just wanted to show you what it looks like put in. It's going to be flush front when it's all said and done. Right now it's sitting there, sitting on those supports. I'm playing with a new camera, so if it looks a little different from my other episodes, if it looks worse, please let me know. There's all kinds of settings on it that I'm still learning. Next episode, we're going to work on the feet. If you recall, I said I wanted to put some adjustable screw feet on the bottom so that we can level the armoire. But in order to do that, I have to make the feet larger than they are right now. It wouldn't look right with how thin they are right now. So we'll work on that so that we can then finish up the bottom shelf and put it in once and for all. Catch you next time.